Hey there. Let's start with a question we've all probably kicked around in our heads at some point. What does it actually mean to be wealthy? Is it just about the number in your bank account, the stuff you own, or could it be something totally different? No, really, just think about it for a second. What comes to mind when you hear that word? For a lot of us, it's about money, security, all that. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if the truest kind of wealth isn't something you can count at all? So let's dive into this amazing document. We're going to explore a single handwritten page from what the author calls my wealth journal. It's basically a personal balance sheet of everything they have. And trust me, it starts in a place you would never expect. Right, so when this person sat down to list their assets, you'd think they'd start with stocks or their house or savings. But no, the very first thing they account for is something way more fundamental: the people and the relationships that make up their life. Look at this. The very first assets on the list are all about family. Dad, mom, brother, the whole extended family. It's a really clear statement, right? This person is saying their network of support, their family, is their number one asset. That's the bedrock of their wealth. And it doesn't just stop with the immediate family. The next item, a church community, adds another huge layer. It suggests that this sense of belonging to a wider group is another critical piece of the puzzle. This is wealth as connection. Okay, so after laying down these external foundations, the people, the community, the journal takes a turn inward. Now we get into the really interesting stuff, the intangible riches, the assets you could never, ever put a price tag on. Just think about this line for a second. Intellectual capacity to do great things. This isn't about what you have done, it's about what you can do. The author is literally listing their own potential as a form of wealth. That ability to create, to build, to contribute, that itself is an asset. And wow, this one might be the most powerful entry on the whole page. Indescribable, unquantifiable peace and joy. The author says it right there. You can't measure these things. I mean, how do you put a number on joy? What's the dollar value of real peace? According to this journal, they're priceless. Absolutely priceless. And, woven through this entire list is this deep, powerful sense of faith. It's not just presented as a belief, but as a core asset. That feeling of love, that connection, that deep gratitude. These are the spiritual pillars holding up this whole new definition of wealth. All right, so we've seen the building blocks. You've got family, community, potential, and peace. Now we get to the journal's big idea, the central thesis. This is the one line that ties everything together and just completely flips the script on how we usually think about getting rich. Let's just let that sink in for a moment. Wealth follows you when you fix how you feel. Notice it doesn't say wealth is something you use to fix how you feel. It's the other way around. Our inner state, how we feel on the inside, is the cause, not the effect, of our abundance. That's a huge mental shift. So the common way of thinking is if I just had more money, then I'd be happy, I'd be secure, I'd finally feel at peace. But this journal suggests a radical reversal. You have to cultivate that peace, that joy, that gratitude first. Then other forms of wealth are just naturally drawn to you. It's about shifting from an external focus to an internal one. We can give this idea a name: emotional wealth. It's basically a state where your inner world, your peace, your joy, your stability, is your primary currency. And according to this philosophy, once you're rich in that emotional currency, everything else, including financial wealth, just kind of follows along as a result. So how does this all come together? Well, the journal ends with one final, beautiful, and kind of cryptic metaphor that perfectly illustrates what it means to live in this state of emotional wealth. At first, this line is a little confusing, right? The gift of sleep, financial wealth. How on earth could sleep equal money? They seem like total opposites. But once you unpack the logic behind it, it's actually incredibly profound. So here's the breakdown. When you go to sleep, you're completely helpless. You have to trust that the world is going to be okay without your constant input. That ability to just let go, to have such deep trust in the universe that you can rest without anxiety, that is a profound form of wealth. It's the ultimate expression of inner peace. So really, the big takeaway from this amazing little document is a total redefinition of riches. True wealth isn't just what's in your bank account. It's the strength of your relationships, the depth of your inner peace, and your basic ability to just trust the world around you. And that brings us to the final question, the one I want to leave with you. If you were to start your own wealth journal today, right now, using this new definition, what would you list on page 1? What are the true, unquantifiable assets that make your life rich?